Okay, welcome to the video I didn't want to make, but I knew as soon as we decided to evacuate for Hurricane Milton and that for safety we were going to turn off our power, that this was a possibility for my future. So behind me is our brand new-ish, I think new this year, freezer, which is right next to our ferment station. That's this, which is particle board. So we moved most of our freezer stuff from our kitchen freezer into here because we thought if it was more compact with frozen things that possibly it would stay frozen longer. But if we look at the floor here, you can see that was not the case. And it just goes everywhere. Unfortunately, it did soak into the particle board of the fermentation a little bit. It doesn't look like it went too deep because it just traveled the grout line. But let's see what it looks like inside. I have my therapy beverage of choice to try to help me through this. If it's really bad in there, I don't think even this is going to hack it. We did let it run when we turned our power back on. Well, let's do the reveal. Oh geez, it's just pouring out. That was probably a bad idea. I was hoping it would be more frozen than that, but it's not. So yeah, all that needs to be thrown away. Every little bit of it. The reason why this is super sad for me is that, yeah, there are some store-bought things, particularly in the top there, but most of this was grown, harvested, and prepared by me for future fermentations. That's not gonna happen. All right, that's it. I just wanted to share with you what's going on today. At least the freezer kept it from stinking. Yay! 2 hours later. I'm terrible at accents, and I just did that because Brian hates that voiceover. Anyway, good news. The freezer, she is empty. Bad news. I still have a lot of cleanup and disinfecting and all that icky part to do. Also, this floor is super sticky, and so are my shoes. I know you guys want to hear that. Anyway, I got more work to do. All right, so it's been about half an hour later, and as you can see behind me, woo, we're all clean and sanitized. I have barely touched my therapy drink. I keep forgetting what the word is. Well, it's just trying to keep me sane. This was a mess, and as much as I hated to do it, I am glad that this was the biggest mess that I had to deal with. I just have lots of yard debris to clear up. But speaking of that yard debris, you're probably wondering, why did it take you 2 hours to clear a freezer? Let's close this door. And that is an excellent question. One that I'm going to answer right now, which is why we're outside in the chaos that is our backyard. 2 things. Thing number one, probably one of the most defining characteristics of me is that I despise wastefulness. Like, I just can't abide by it. I will eat every little scrap on my plate or scoop it all up and put it in a container for later or something along those lines, because being wasteful is just like the ultimate sin to me. Another thing is I hate landfills. I know they're a necessary part of life, but they don't need to be so filled so quickly because, again, waste. So all that frozen food went into our raised garden bed. So you can see it's all there, just hanging out on top of the raised garden bed. Layers and layers and layers of frozen food. Because I know this is like going to be a giant composting bin. I'm going to have this frozen food, and then when I get around to mulching all that yard debris I was talking about, that's going to go on top of it, and I'm just going to let it sit. Sound familiar? Yeah, there's a reason why I like that phrase. So some things that are really sad are the grapes. These grapes, in particular, we had finally found cotton candy grapes at a reasonable price. We bought a bunch, and we were freezing them so that they would be prepared for us to make a brew. Well, that's not going to happen, so we have to wait longer for cotton candy grapes to be back on sale. There's some more there. I think that was all of them. But then over here, these grapes are our grapes that we grew and harvested. And because we're always fighting the birds to get grapes, and they come to maturity normally in August, this was a couple years worth. And then we finally had enough to make a brew, and now we don't. So thank you for joining me in the chaos of cleaning out my freezer. I'm going to enjoy a nice beverage now, and I hope you guys had a great day. Bye-bye.